What made you motivated to become stubborn with your dreams to pursue them?
I would never use the word stubborn.
What word do you use?
So I would use the word drive, I suppose, and I knew that the only way from where I had started was up. And so when you had this feeling, well, I had this feeling in my body which said to me there was something else. There was something more magical, more miracle based that I could get my hands on. And it was a feeling. And so it created this drive, and I call them the clicks. I know when I've got there when I feel the clicks.
How did rejection make you who you are today?
Oh, wow. That's a big question.
I know.
How did rejection? Well, I suppose at first, rejection was something that made me feel like I wasn't wanted, and I felt abandoned. And then my relationship with rejection was, I realised where I was abandoning myself.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. And then my relationship with rejection was, oh, what is it teaching me? And then my relationship with rejection became, they have their own perception, and their perception is not my perception, and it's okay. So I've had quite a journey with rejection, actually.
Why do you think some people at work don't get promoted despite them putting in all of the effort?
There can be many, many, many things. One of the things that I've begun to notice from my own experience and from my own walking myself is mindset. Okay? We attract to ourselves the things that we think about the most. Okay? That's scientific now, you know. And I know that when I wasn't getting or wasn't receiving what I knew I could, sometimes it was about the way I was dealing with it and the way I was checking into the stereotypes of what was perceived of me. And so it was very important that when one does feel like that, that they find environments where you can thrive and be encouraged and celebrated and championed to help move this mindset forward. So when you're in those situations, you don't miss the opportunities. Because one of the ways with that closed mindset means that we miss the opportunities because sometimes they're there, and because we're feeling how we're feeling, we miss them. It's,
We'll do mindset. Who would you say are 3 of the most influential people to you?
So one of the most influential people was Alec Howard-Drummond, so the guy at the Corporate Finance. And I would also say my mother, you know, for completely the opposite reasons why I suppose most people would say. But my mum was very strong, and she had this strength that at the time I didn't see as very useful for me, but actually it was something that I was able to build upon into my adult life. Alec Howard-Drummond, because he had systems, he was a systems man. He was a man of his word. You know, he kept time. Everything was like clockwork and constructed, and you know. So I learned from him how to have like a foundation of boundaries. And I suppose the other biggest influence is my relationship to universe, God, spirit, however anybody wants to be able to kind of talk about that. Because in the quiet moments, the relationship, I suppose my voice, I see as a gift. And I feel that those two are very much integrated. And my voice has been the only place that I've been able to have a home in that I can always go back to and know that I'm okay.
If there are any distractions, how do you get rid of them?
Well, how do I get rid of them now, or how I got rid of them before?
I'm assuming they're different.
Yes, they are.
So how did you get rid of them in your 20s?
In my 20s, I drank.
Cool. Wasn't expecting that.
In my 20s, I drank. I'm a recovering alcoholic, so I've been sober 22 years.
Congratulations.
And yeah, thank you. But in my 20s, that's what up until, because I stopped drinking I think I was 25 or 20 something when I stopped drinking. So that was for me one of my distractions. But now I'm a coach, and I've been a coach for like 21 years, 22 years. And so now I've got so many tools in my box. I've got an environment that I feel very good in. I've got loads of friends and peers that can keep me accountable. And now the biggest thing that I do in terms of my own responsibility, I pick up the phone and bust myself. I'll say to someone, oh my gosh, I've got all this work to do, it's really important, and I know it's really important. Will you sit on the phone with me or sit on Zoom with me for an hour while I just get over this hump? And I've got a great load of friends that will do that, and I do that for them too.
That's a really good tool.
Yeah, it's such a great tool. And what happens then is they say to me, actually, I've got something really difficult to do as well. I'm going to do it at the same time. Wow. And then when you get stuck again, you can talk about it, you can talk it through. So that's one of my biggest things. I bust myself because I don't want to be distracted. I ain't got time to be distracted. You know, this year was a very full year for me. Well, last year was a very full year for me around health, and it really woke me up actually into the next level of my consciousness.